Welcome back to Reviews and Rankings with Robby Sobel. Today I'll be listing must-watch Christmas-themed horror movies to check out during the holiday season. During the holiday season, it's become commonplace for people around the world to take part in various activities. Whether it's shopping for their loved ones, going to Christmas parties with family and friends, singing along to their favorite holiday music, or finding other ways to end the year on a high note. One tradition that seems to be universal is the Christmas movie. Whether it's established classics or more updated holiday gems, the watching of Christmas movies has become a holiday staple. While several holiday films have established themselves as traditional favorites for millions of families, the Christmas theme has become a growing trend among horror fans. In the upcoming list, I'll give you must-watch Christmas-themed horror movies delivered in the order that they were released. Black Christmas, 1974. Black Christmas was released in 1974 and was directed by Bob Clark, who would later go on to also direct the family-friendly holiday classic, A Christmas Story. Black Christmas tells the story of a group of sorority sisters who begin to receive obscene phone calls during their Christmas break. After initially mocking the caller and laughing off his prank, the girls quickly fall victim to a serial killer. While Halloween, released 4 years later, is often credited as the modern horror slasher, it was Black Christmas that first put the formula in play, with its graphic kills, intense atmosphere and tone, all mixed together with a clever whodunit story. A loose remake was released in 2006, and though it's received negative feedback from fans, I believe it serves as a decent throwback to horror slashers of the 1980s. A second remake was released in December 2019 by Blumhouse. While I've personally never been a huge fan of the original film as many others, it still required viewing for horror fans to make up their own mind about a classic of the genre. Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1984. Silent Night, Deadly Night was released in 1984 and was directed by Charles E. Cillier, Jr. The film tells the story of a young man named Billy, who when he was younger witnessed the brutal killing of his parents at the hands of a man dressed in a Santa suit. Years later, after being raised in an abusive Catholic orphanage, Billy is out working as a stockboy at a local toy store. Once Christmas season draws near, he's asked to wear a Santa suit to help bring in customers. But the memories of his parents' death are triggered in his mind as he begins a killing spree of his own. When Silent Night, Deadly Night was first released, it quickly became #1 at the box office, even beating out Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street. However, due to massive backlash from mostly female protesters, many theaters pulled the film and canceled showings. Despite this, the film's controversy created a cult following around the film, which resulted in several sequels being released. While most of the films have received negative reviews, Part 2 in the series did deliver a memorable kill and the most quotable line in the franchise.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
In 2012, a loose remake titled Silent Night was released, starring Malcolm McDowell, which followed the local police who attempt to track down a serial killer dressed as Santa on Christmas night, who is knocking off those who he believes should be on the naughty list. While the remake has flown under the radar, it makes for a fun double feature with the original. Gremlins, 1984. Gremlins is a 1984 comedic horror creature feature directed by Joe Dante that has gone on to become a holiday favorite. The story follows a young man named Billy who receives a Christmas gift from his father in the form of a furry creature called a Mogwai. Billy goes on to name his new pet Gizmo, who proves to become a bit more than he can handle. The Mogwai was purchased at a small antique store in Chinatown, which comes with very specific instructions, including not exposing the Mogwai to bright lights or sunlight, not allowing it to come in contact with water, and the most important rule of all, Never feed it after midnight. As expected, these rules are eventually broken, resulting in new creatures called gremlins beginning to become birthed through Gizmo's back, who in turn wreak havoc on those around them.
Directed by Joe Dante.
While Gremlins was a critical and financial success, it was forced to deal with a strict MPAA, which came down hard on the film's graphic scenes. The pressure from the censors resulted in the film's sequel, Gremlins 2: The New Batch, being more comedy and less horror, which did help broaden its appeal. Despite this, the film and its sequel are an entertaining watch around the holiday season and are recommended to even mild fans of the genre. New Millennium Christmas Horror. Following the year 2000 and beyond, several Christmas-themed horror films have been released, as filmmakers have been able to merge multiple subgenres with the holiday. If you're looking for a home invasion horror film with a Christmas twist, check out Better Watch Out, released in 2016. For a road trip film with a psychological bend, look no further than 2003's Dead End. Do evil kids creep you out? Then take a look at The Children, released in 2008. Isolation horror is one of my personal favorite subgenres, which is why ATM, released in 2010, did the job for me. The film takes place primarily at an ATM location, with those using the machine being stalked by a killer following a Christmas party. And if social and political commentary is what you want, watch Red Christmas, as it takes the controversial issue of abortion to task. The Krampus Double Dip, Krampus, and a Christmas Horror Story. While everyone is familiar with Santa Claus, his elves, and the North Pole, the legend of Krampus is one that is often left in the dark. Krampus is the anti-Santa Claus, which originated in Central European folklore and has been described as half goat and half demon, who punishes naughty children on Christmas. In 2015, the self-titled film Krampus was released, directed by Michael Dougherty, who previously directed the Halloween anthology Trick or Treat. Krampus is a horror comedy that tells the story of a young boy who gives up on the spirit of Christmas after a massive family argument on Christmas Eve. The boy's lack of hope triggers the legend of Krampus, as he and his family are forced to fight off the demon until the morning. 2015 also saw the release of A Christmas Horror Story, which acts as an anthology film featuring 4 separate segments that all intertwine as told by the film's radio DJ narrator, played by William Shatner. The most popular and effective segment of the film involves the story of Krampus, who does battle with Santa and his elves at the North Pole, leading to one of the most satisfying endings in recent Christmas horror history. While both films differ in tone, they are the best of the bunch when attempting to get the Krampus story told effectively. That's the end of our journey through some of the best horror movies with a Christmas twist. So hopefully these flicks will get you through the holiday season with a few laughs and more than enough scares. I hope you enjoyed my list of must-watch Christmas-themed horror movies, but what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below, and if you could, hit the like button and subscribe. If you're on Instagram, you can follow me at Robby_upgrade. So let's keep watching movies, and thanks for checking out the channel.